Welcome back to the show. Happening at the FIM. Serial killers. That probably got your attention, right? The show is Serial Killers with Dr. Scott Bonn, and we welcome him live to Good Morning in Michigan. Hello to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Great to see you. First off, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you into, my friend?
Sure. Well, I am a criminologist, but I'm a criminologist, as I like to say, with a bit of a twist, because I am trained in analysis, profiling of these individuals. I would consider myself an expert in homicide, but particularly serial murder. But I also have an extensive background in the media, entertainment, and news world myself, having worked at NBC for a number of years. So I bring that to the equation. And one of the fascinating things that I like to do is to examine serial killers in our popular culture. They are all really embedded into our popular culture as symbols of evil, like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer.
Interesting. So with that said, talk about your show. You have a show coming to town.
I sure do, on October 19th there at the FIM Capitol Theatre at 8 p.m. And what the audience can expect is a dynamic, exciting evening, some thrills and chills pre-Halloween. But the show itself it's a multimedia event, but with me providing the narrative, and I share stories, my actual interactions with some of the most infamous characters of all time, like David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, and also Dennis Rader, who gave himself the name Bind, Torture, Kill there in Kansas. And more recently, I was involved in the investigation for the Long Island serial killer in New York. So the first act is me taking the audience inside the minds of some of these most diabolical characters, providing my unique perspectives. And then act number two is the opportunity to ask me live any question that the audience has ever wondered about and wanted to know about serial killers. And that gets really interesting and exciting and unpredictable, because I never know, what I'm going to be asked. And I love it. I love the interaction with the audience.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yes, an interactive opportunity. And, why do you think, just in general, we're so intrigued with some of these cases? Again, you've been involved with some high-profile cases yourself.
Yes. Well, the intrigue is multifaceted. Some of it has to do, I believe, with the word empathy. And we humans are empathetic creatures. We're drawn to both the good and the bad. But I think we're particularly interested in things that are larger than life and deadly. And serial killers fall into that category. And for example, we're also drawn to things like great white sharks. And I think that serial killers, in many ways, have several things in common with great white sharks. They're rare, they're exotic, and they're deadly. And interestingly, and this is where our pop culture comes in, that serial killers have their own week on network television, on Oxygen Network, and sharks have their own week on the Discovery Channel every year. So it really demonstrates this fascination that we have. And I think we're compelled to understand serial killers because they are so over the top and so heinous that they're terrifying. And we want to try to understand, because if we can understand, it alleviates some of that fear. And I might also add that my audience is usually more than 50% female. And I think women in particular empathize with the victims in these cases and in these stories. And they also are looking for, many women tell me they're looking for protection. They're looking for information. They're looking for ways to, protect themselves from potential harm. So there's that aspect of it as well.
Yes.
These individuals, they're the extreme of what one human can do to another. And I think we just find that so incomprehensible that it is fascinating.
Yes, very true. Great analysis there, great answer. And keep in mind, Dr. Scott Bonn also has a book, Why We Love Serial Killers. There's the information on your screen for this upcoming production. Again, an interactive Q&A session there, October 19th at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Yeah, we appreciate your insight.